Watercolors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
I've only used cheap stuff before, so
Yeah.
he talked about on your printer, what are the 3 colors of cartridges that you have?
Hmm.
You have cyan, magenta, and yellow.
Right.
And those 3 make all the
Primaries.
combinations of the colors. So I started out with, with the basics of those tubes, and it's been so much fun. It's so different than using any of the cheapy stuff.
Hmm.
So that's what I've been.
What do you find different? Like, are they more rich or saturated?
I think they
Oh,
are.
those are nice.
There's more.
Yeah, they pop off the page.
They're a little bit more expensive
Daniel
too,
Smith.
aren't they?
Yes.
Well, there's more pigment and less binder in
Mm.
the
Okay.
cheap artist.
Virginia,
But
I
like
worked,
you said, just buy the 3 primaries and you can make every other color.
Yes.
Virginia,
Yes.
I worked for Xerox. It's cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. CMYK. So
And
you might want to add black.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
what I did add is shadow violet,
Mm-hmm.
and that they said very rarely do you really use black
Right.
in watercolor.
Oh,
Okay.
But this shadow violet,
okay.
does a really good job of changing the value for you.
Okay, Andy will be on in a few minutes.
Oh, okay, great. So that's worth knowing. I have heard of those watercolors before,
Cool.
but I'm not a watercolor person. So, I mean, the most expensive watercolors I've ever bought are the ones by Koi, I think they are,
Uh-huh.
which they're nice. I like them, but I don't do a lot of watercolors. So, but I have heard of those. Yeah, that's the ones that I have.
Yeah.
The Koi's and the little, I bought them because the box
Yeah.
was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the set I've got too. But I've hardly ever used them. I should probably get them out and experiment a little further with that. So that's great. Anything, and that's a good piece of knowledge.
So
too.
Virginia,
So-
did you find a difference between,
I did.
did you
I
find a difference between the,
we lost Pat.
I
Hello,
have-
Pat.
Yeah, the koi set doesn't have exactly the same colors in it.
No.
They're a little bit, I don't know, brighter. But I really like the Daniel Smiths, and they just blend together, and it's so much fun to see what colors come out.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been playing with.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else you'd like to tell us?
No?
Okay, so let's move down here. Let's see who's next. Oops. Let's take you off the spotlight. And let's go to, I don't know, Pat, are you still there? Can you hear us? I think Pat, it says she's there, but no video. Well, let's go to Jeannie. Jeannie, do you have anything to share with us today?
Yes, 2 things. I decided I was interested in learning how to do applique, and I decided I wanted to involve my 2 sisters, Andy, and we have another sister. So Andy loves nature. So I did this,
That's cool.
and Andy is going to take it, and she is going to paint in the background. So it'll be,
Yeah.
and then our 3rd sister, who is a wonderful woodworker, is going to make a rustic frame and frame it. And then it'll belong to Andy.
Gee, you guys are all very talented in your family.
Well, it came late in life for all of us, you know. We had to earn livings. And then the other thing I've been working on is, let me see, hold on. I know there's a way to, how to do this. Well, I'll just have to take you over there, I guess. This is a quilt. Let's see. Can you see it?
No, we can't.
Oh.
Oh, wait, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, I don't know which way to go.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Our woodworking sister asked me to make this quilt for our family's, beach place. And she picked out the colors. She wanted browns and creams. She wanted the theme, a musical theme. And she picked out this pattern. So this is an adaptation of Bonnie Hunter's checkerboard rails. I had to adapt it and make the rails wider in
Yeah.
order for you to be able to see the musical instruments and all in the rails. So the center rails all have, either musical notes or instruments. And so that's just a quarter of the quilt.
Wow.
That's really
And
nice.
So, and Stephen, I'm going to ruler quilt it.
Good luck. Have you ever done ruler foot quilting before?
And yes, and that's how I know I'm quite mediocre at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how I know too about myself. I just did one yesterday that I used a combination of free motion and ruler foot quilting. I haven't shown it yet. I'm going to show it on my vlog next week, but actually it turned out not too bad. The only thing I don't like about it is the way I did the backing on it. I pieced the backing and now I wish that I hadn't. I don't really like the back on it, but it's a wall hanging. So as long as nobody looks at the back of it, I'm fine. So one thing I want to ask you too about your applique, is it raw edge applique?
It is raw edge applique, and I used Quilter Select. That it's the kind that you can repositionable, so you can put it on and shift the position and all before you do the final pressing.
Oh, okay. That I've used that before as well. Anybody who is not a quilter or doesn't do applique, what we're talking about raw edge means that traditional applique, they'll do something called needle turn, which is where they take the raw edge, turn it under and sew it down to the background fabric. With raw edge, you use something like steam-a-seam or whatever like that, a fusible webbing. And essentially with your iron, you're gluing it down, and then you'll probably do like a blanket stitch or satin stitch or something all the way around the edges, or even a straight stitch.
Wow.
And that'll keep it from unraveling. So some people don't like that because they don't consider that really applique. They consider it cheating. I don't know. I think it's a lot easier myself. So I like to cheat.
I'm cheating too.
Yeah, but that looks great. And it's nice that you have a combination of like the three of you all contributing to this one project. So you'll have to show us the end product when they get it done.
Well, Andy will have to show it because it'll be at her house in the end.
Okay. And I think Andy's on here now because she came in. Yep, there she is. There's Andy. Okay, great. Anything else you want to share with us, Jean?
No, that's me.
Okay, so our next person, Virginia. Let's go with Virginia. You're in the spotlight.
Oh, I did the watercolors.
You did that already. We did you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Anita, I know you've got some things to show us.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, I have been in the process all year long of going through boxes and bags and baskets of craft supplies, art supplies. This little bedroom art thing has taken me forever to get through. I'm glad that I've done it. I'm putting, like with like, I'm unearthing things that I hadn't seen for a while. So I guess I'm getting prepared. Anyway, I ran across this that I had done a while ago, and it's a counted cross stitch. I don't know if you can.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So I got it. I had it folded folded up. And I'm like, it's time I frame him. So I need to take it back out and kind of steam it because I'm not happy with some of the fold lines in the fabric yet.
You have a lot of patience, I'll tell you that, for cross stitching.
Well, you know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it anymore because of my vision
Eyesight?
issues that I have. I haven't tried it in a while, but
My sister is a furious cross stitcher. She always has been. She's constantly got projects, and she does some very elaborate ones too.
Yes.
They look almost like paintings when she gets them
Yes.
done. I tried it once, couldn't stand it. I just didn't have the patience for it. Nor the
I
eyesight.
used to do it a lot. I did it all the time. Then as children came on and jobs came on and you were busy, I just got away from it. But I had done, you know, several things. So I'm glad I ran across that.
Yeah.
And I ran across this little stencil. And I used some metallic. I had some metallics and I wanted to see how they would work with this. So there's another little thing. And
Was that a stencil that you applied gel through?
It was a stencil and all the black, and I don't have any gel. No, it was just
So that's just paint?
yeah, that's just paint, and
Nice.
it's metallic. The color behind it was metallic paint.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
That's really
yeah.
nice.
It took a
really
little
like that.
thinking to
Yeah.
get it to come out the way I wanted it. Yeah. So that worked out well. I did this. My husband and I, we took a little fall day trip. We went to a farm about 45 minutes from us to buy our mums. Our town has a mum festival every September, and they supply the mums for the festival. Well, this year, due to COVID, there was no festival, but the farm still had mums to sell and supply. So we decided we would go visit the farm. And we took off one Saturday morning and had about a 45-minute drive through the country. Just gorgeous, you know, with golden corn fields and soybeans, and it was a beautiful day. And we got to the farm. We bought 6 mums, and that's all we could fit in the hatchback of our little SUV. And they were huge. I mean, they're just like this. And they were $6 a piece.
Wow.
And so then we wanted to visit the little town, which was called Urbana, Ohio. So we did that. We walked around the square. We, you know, went in a couple antique stores. We just had a great day. So I wanted to try and do a illustration, I guess, or a journal page, or whatever way it turned out. And so I worked on this, which I can't tell.
That's
anyway.
really nice.
Nice.
So it's got some watercolor. It has some stamps and some journaling about the day. And then right here, where there's right here, that's where I still have to drop in my watercolor mums. But I had fun doing that.
Very nice.
So will you frame that?
Well, I could. I'm kind of thinking that I'll probably put it in a protective sleeve for now, but I kind of want to process the photos we took that
Mhm.
day. So maybe I will, make it like in a scrap,
Yeah.
book type of format to put our photos
Hmm.
from
You
our
could make
day,
it-
because we took quite a few photos of the old buildings and the architecture. And
You
I
could
thought,
use it.
I
You
should
could
do
make it
one for
into.
October.
You could make it into sort of the cover of a
Yeah.
booklet kind of thing.
Well, another thought I had today was if I do one for every month, I could turn this into a calendar next year,
Yeah,
like
true.
Oh, yeah.
make a calendar.
Yeah.
We've done that before with our photography.
Yeah.
But I thought, and then in the unearthing of things, because I'd sent Stephen an email this week and I said, I feel like I'm the only person that loves all this stuff, but I never seem to feel like I get anything done. So I don't know if anybody else feels
You're
that
not
way.
alone.
But I have unearthed
Yeah.
several
Not alone.
folders of like this was a mix, just a manila folder.
Hmm.
And I had done some playing around, mixed media.
I like that.
But this folder is full of artwork I had done. And I have 2 more. And I started looking at it and I thought, I want to make some journals to put in all these bits and bobs, bits and pieces of things. Because I'm like, I actually have done some
Yeah.
things through the years. But, when it's out of sight and you don't. So I just pulled some things that's a watercolor hummingbird.
That's nice.
Nice.
I tried. This was a flower that I tried.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
rose.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
that, I'm like, okay, that needs to be. This was a watercolor I tried. I didn't like it. And I ended up taking actual newspaper. I painted newspaper, different colors, tore it into bits and pieces, put on top of this. And I have some stamping.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Nice.
And so it kind of saved it.
Sunflowers.
for me.
Yeah.
And I actually, we printed this off and I made note cards.
That would be
Yeah.
nice.
That.
That's why I was going to say you should scan or your other ones and make them into cards or make them into postcards, that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I think so.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Then she was talking about the Daniel Smith watercolors. And I was in a watercolor group for many years. And these ladies just became my best friends, but they would come. I would go to the group before I had to go to work. I worked as a nurse for many years and I worked second shift. So we would meet at 10 in the morning and I would go to the group and, have lunch with them. And then I would, have to leave at 2:00, whatever time, and go to work. But, they would come in and they seemed to just do these wonderful paintings. And I really struggled. I thought, nothing, I can't draw. They seem to just be able to look at something and, sketch it out and do a painting, over a couple of weeks and whatever. And my husband and I were going to the lake for a family get together. And I didn't get to pack. I wanted to pack my little watercolors and some paper just so I could relax. I forgot to do it. We stopped at a Walmart. I bought some Crayola watercolors, a set of 16 colors. They didn't even have any watercolor paper. I ended up with like sketch paper. And that weekend was a turning point. I don't know
Okay.
if it was that I wasn't using my good watercolors and I wasn't uptight about, wasting the paint or the paper. And I just sat down and looked at, things, and I just started going. And it was a huge turning point. From that point on, then, so I found some of the things that I had. This was a tree that I looked at and said, and that's the first tree that I had ever done.
Oh, geez. That's pretty good for first
And
time.
I was like, oh,
Very good.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So that, was that. And then, let's see, I ran across a little berry bush, blackberry bush, whatever.
Pretty.
Yeah.
And I
Nice.
just went
Oh, wow.
with it.
Yeah.
And then here's some little flowers I tried, just sketching. And I went through that entire pad of paper. I just played.
Yeah.
I just played. And I had, from then on, things changed. And there's a little flower pots and,
Yeah.
That's nice.
and those are just Crayola watercolor. So yeah, it changed. It changed the whole
Wow.
thing for me. And I started doing, well, here's some more. There's a,
Nice.
Oh, I love that iris.
can't
Yeah.
tell. Yeah. Iris,
Woo.
rose. And this is photocopy because I have the originals, and then I got brave and I just wanted to drop colors in. So
Right.
I had no idea. I just dropped some flower forms and I just let it flow.
Nice.
And then I did the lines where I wanted them. And this I loved, my little thing here. So it's been kind of nice
the
to
little
find
bee.
these things. And
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I'm kind of ready to do some more stuff.
Yeah. It looks great.
And, but, here's one of my drop flowers, I call it.
So you just drop the watercolor paint on and sort of let it bloom out, and then you play with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should try
I
something like
just-
that.
And I will have to say, the group of ladies that I was,
So like wet on wet.
yeah,
Yeah.
the group of ladies I was with, they did more realistic, just, so they just kind of looked at me a little funny, like, but I enjoyed that. And
Well, that's all that
seem to-
matters.
I'll have to try to find one here that I started seeing things like, and by that, I mean, here's
Pretty
one.
crazy.
This started out, I sat down one evening, I had this page that just had these blues and colors, and I thought I saw a person. So I ended up, just by following the colors and the shapes, I ended up with these three figures that, to me, they look like they they look like they were wrapped up in their winter, coats from a cold,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just drop something in and see what it says, I guess.
Sounds like fun. I'll have to give that a try. Okay,
So-
well, great ideas here to work with. Going to move on, I think, unless Anita, there's something else you want to share with us?
Wow.
No, I'm just very grateful for the group. I think it's kind of it's helping me get my mojo back, I think, a little
Oh,
bit
good.
and get some stuff done that I've wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm
And
glad
I'm
that
gonna
it is.
find an appropriate place to put all this stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's another problem, but you'll solve it.
Great.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Wow.
Audrey, do you have anything you would like to share with us?
I have a few things this morning.
Yay. Let's see them.
I did I'm doing some of the dime doors like you are.
Hmm.
So this was my
Oh, the October one,
the
yeah.
October one, and I added a little hat that I took
Oh.
out a piece of fabric.
Nice.
Oh,
and
good
it kinda
idea.
went with
Oh,
it. So
wow.
I thought that was cute.
For
Wow.
anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, the dime doors, they're from a company called Digital, what's dime stand for?
Designs and machine embroidery.
That's it, Designs in Machine Embroidery. And every month they have a free download, which is the embroidery machine file for creating these
Wow.
doors. And they started it last January, and it's going through the whole year. So we've got 2 doors left to do, and I've been doing them too, and I have shown them in the past. And I'm going to make mine all into, I think, a wall hanging when I get them all done. I see you've put the hangers on them, Audrey, so you've got
Yeah,
a thing to hang them from.
Put a little dowel rod in there to hang it.
Yeah, I skipped that step because I want to make it into a wall hanging around when I get them all done. But it's kind of fun to do that. So what else have you got there, Audrey?
Okay, well then I don't know if you've made this or not, but I have these
No.
stacked pumpkins.
Ooh,
Oh, that's so cute.
nice.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
on
cute.
the reverse side, it's a
Oh,
pumpkin.
wow.
Wow.
Double duty.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever, I don't know, you didn't make these, did you?
No, I
Steve?
never made those. No.
Yeah, well, these are fun and they go together real easy.
So
Um,
what? You could use it. You can almost use it as a table runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I would.
kind of small, but I just
Yeah.
hung it on the wall with my door.
Hmm. Oh, shoot. I just lost power. Oh, damn. I lost power.
Make it reversible. And
Wow.
then
Ah,
like a banner, so you could like hang it on a window or on the wall or on your
Yeah.
fireplace, whatever. So this is my version. I did the pattern on this one. So this was my version for the fall one. And there's like, I didn't bring them out, but there's like 4 of these. There's a tree and a candy cane, and I forget what the other one is. But I thought they turned out pretty cute. And then you just, if I just sew them together, what is my goal, and then you can just have one, and then you can reverse it for the other. So
Nice.
that's one thing. And then I've been making these angels.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing
I
1,
don't-
2, 3.
I don't know if this is one of the angels that Stephen made or not. I know he was making some angels, but
Wow.
how
this is
pretty.
another one that's all the embroidery, and
Mm,
this isn't freestanding lace, but all these pieces are different parts, and then you put them all together, and it's
wow.
all embroidery. And then you put the little skirt is organza, and you put the little skirt over top.
That's gorgeous.
So this one's about
Wow.
11 and a half inches tall. And then there's another one that I'm working on right now that's probably going to be about 8 inches tall. that goes with it. So it's big enough that you can put it on top of a tree if you want to, or just have it in a display. But
Yeah.
I do boutiques, which are non-existent this year because we can't meet. And so I'm going to try to find an online thing and sell these this year.
Wow.
And
Pretty.
then I got really ambitious. I've never made a purse before in my life, but my daughter loves Snoopy.
Oh.
And so I found
Wow.
these Snoopy designs, and then I decided I would go ahead and make her a little purse.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
So it turned out fairly nice, and then I did a little thing to hang with a Snoopy on it. So anyway,
Wow.
I did that for her birthday.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
you know, they want over $100 for them if you buy them from the Snoopy website, for a purse like that. And she's been wanting one, and then I got the idea that I thought, you know, why don't I try to make one? You know, I've never made one before. It was a little challenging in places where this is that vinyl, glitter vinyl. And so it was, some of the thickness was a little challenge with my machine, but I thought it turned out pretty nice. So
To cut
Looks
the
good.
pattern out, do you use something like a Cricut machine, or do you just freehand cut it from a paper pattern?
you mean for the purse?
Yeah,
You mean
like the different pieces. Did you have to
Oh, no,
cut
I-
different shapes?
Yeah, no, these are all embroidered on the fabric.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're all embroidered right on the fabric. And
I
the other-
see now, yeah.
Yeah, and the other pieces I just cut out. I just cut it out. It's a pattern for a purse,
Nice,
but
nice.
Wow.
Can you guys
Anyway,
hear me?
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I just had a power failure, which you
Oh.
may not have realized, but my whole system all shut down, including my internet connection. I
Oh,
still have a power
Yeah.
failure, but my computer's running off its battery and my modem is running off its battery that's built
Oh.
into it. So if
yeah.
I guess you guys didn't notice it, but
I heard
if
you go testing, and I was
Yes.
like, yeah.
Yeah, because my speakers are out. I have external speakers in my computer, so I had to go in and reconfigure it so I could
Oh,
use
wow.
the internal ones.
Oh.
So I'm here. So I don't know how long my battery power is going to last. So we'll see.
Okay.
According to this, I've got 3 hours and 38 minutes of battery time on my computer. I'm just not sure how long the one on the modem will last, but we'll carry on and maybe my
Wow.
power will all come back up. So I missed part of what you were
so
showing
did
us.
you see? Did you?
I saw
see
that,
this?
yeah. And I saw
Okay.
your bag, and I saw, I didn't
The
see
angel?
those I didn't see.
Okay, these are the little like a little mantle thing I'm gonna make. There's
Oh.
4 different designs, and then this one I put together myself with an applique.
Oh, that's nice.
And make like a little mantle banner, you know, to have them next to each other and on a string.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good idea.
So you could do, I want to make them reversible so that I can do like Christmas one, fall the other.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that'd be
working
nice.
on. And
Yeah.
then I don't know if you didn't see the angel.
No, I didn't see the angel. I
Did-
made one of those last year, and I'm going to
I
make
thought
another
you
one
did.
this year. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I thought you did. This is the tall one, and I'm also working on the small one.
yeah, I really like those.
Yeah,
They're a little bit more involved to make because you got to do a little bit of like zigzag sewing on them.
yeah, it just, yeah, you have to put these pieces together and you
Yeah.
have to put the skirt together. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But it's not too
Um,
bad.
no, and I like them. I think they're really
Yeah.
pretty, and the stitching
Oh, yeah,
on
they
them
are.
is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I like
Yeah.
the hair at the back. You can see the
Uh-huh.
curls.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and the wing.
nice.
And so you saw the purse then?
Yep, that's when I came back on.
Yeah,
So I
okay,
said, and that's really nice too.
yeah.
Really like that. That's great. So if you watch the replay on this, there will probably be a gap, but I think now I'm recording now, and I got all your other stuff when we showed them to me. So I think we'll be okay on that. So anything else,
Oh.
Audrey, that you
No,
want to
that's all my work for now.
You've been busy. You've
I've been
Pretty
busy,
good.
yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, Andy, you're in the spotlight. What you got for us? Anything?
Ooh. Oh my.
You're on the spot.
Well, I'm still working on my sketching.
Yeah.
I was very happy because I started a new sketchbook and I tried a different brand that I like a lot better. The paper, I like it a lot better. So in this, I'm just continuing my starting page, just a bunch
Nice.
of little doodles.
That's great.
Ooh,
But I'm still doing sort of like everyday items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Just kind of fooling around with that. Oh,
Nice.
that goes that way. I
Yeah.
didn't like the way this one turned out.
That's awesome.
So yes, I've been busy with this. I'm trying to think if there's a everyday
So
item.
is it basically pen and ink and then
Yes,
watercolor?
yes.
Yeah.
Some of them with pencil, but I was doing some things off of my desk yesterday, and the thing I was happy about were these two pens,
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to make them look like they were metal.
Wow.
I'm really happy with the
Yeah.
way
And
they
round. You got it.
And so this I just did an initial wash last night. It's of a photograph that was taken in old Stockholm. So I just did the initial wash, so I haven't finished that. So that's that. And
Nice.
made some cards for my niece. This is I'm still writing the message for her, but this one I used what's his name? I forgot the guy's name. He does like the dry pigments and
Oh,
in the little bottle.
the
Oh,
brushos.
Oliver? Ken
Oliver.
Oliver?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Oliver. So
Yeah.
I was just fooling around and I
That's
just
nice.
had the ink on there and I was looking at it and it struck me, Mother, this is interesting. It doesn't look like very much of anything. So I kept staring at it and staring at it and I
Mm-hmm.
saw flowers coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just pinned the flowers around.
Beautiful.
Sort of
Thank
like in the
you.
technique that Anita was doing with the watercolors.
Yeah.
Then I got like kind of weird because this is a combination of sort of crafting stuff in nature. This is the next card I'm sending to my niece. And this the background here is a technique that I saw on YouTube. It's craft paper and you soften it up with glycerin and then wrinkle it up and then apply distress inks on it and let it dry. And I had gone for a walk with my dog and I came across this leaf and had left it in my pocket and I was going, well, gee, if the glycerin softens up the paper so you can bend it and it doesn't tear, I wonder what it would do to the leaf.
Oh yeah.
I coated it on the leaf and let it dry for 24 hours and it made it pliable enough for
Yeah.
me to stick it on the card. So
Wow.
this is a card for next week. And
Is like
Nice.
glycerin like a gel or is it fluid?
it's fluid.
Good.
And I sprayed it on. It was approximately one part glycerin, 6 or 7 parts water.
Okay.
Okay.
And I didn't rub it. I just patted in. The lady said whose video I watched, she said pat it in, don't rub it because you can start to rub off some of the fibers on the paper. So I just like patted it, but I
Mhm.
was happy with the way it came out. It's real peculiar.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Very different. Thank you. Let me see. Do I have anything else? Oh, I only had a chance to do a couple of nature journal things this month. Um, so I was out walking my dog and I noticed that the leaves had turned colors
Yeah.
and I was wondering, gee, I wonder why the leaves turn colors and why some leaves have yellow, end up having yellow leaves, and then they go brown and die, and others have red. So of course, then I had to research, why do these things happen? So,
Mhm.
and then I took
Nice.
my dog to a nature we have here in Chicagoland area what are called forest preserves. So they're designated park areas that are protected. And so I took her over there. And one of the things that struck me when I was out there, I happened to turn as we were walking down a path, and I saw this, it was sort of back in the bush, and I saw this tree, and it had these two patches of yellow and orange and red leaves that looked like angel wings to me, and all the rest of the leaves were green. And so I
Oh,
wanted to capture that because it was like, wow, that's really interesting. And then of course I did the obligatory acorn, had to do that, and then the helicopter leaves. I think that's yeah. And I
Yeah.
wanted to see what was inside of that, so I cut this open so I could see what it looked like on the inside. That's the weird kind of thing that you start doing when you do nature journaling. So, but it's a lot of fun. And then most of what I've been doing is reading, and I found out about this book called The Lost Art of Nature. What is this? The Lost Art of Reading Nature Signs. And it's really good. It talks about how you can be anywhere and things that you can look at to determine what's north and south. Um, if you're like in a riverbed, there's certain things that you can look for to indicate whether or not that riverbed is subject to flash flooding, or like really cool nerdy things like that. So the people here that live around me, they think I'm strange, and I had to do a bookmark to go with it.
oh,
Oh,
love
pretty.
that.
Yeah.
So that was a quickie. So other than that, all I've been doing, other than that, the other thing I've been doing is researching. I've decided that on my bucket list, I want to go camping, and so I've never been tent camping before, so I'm doing research on that, and I have made friends with a young lady who has never gone camping, and she'd always wanted to do that. So I have identified the tent I want to get, and the sleeping bag, and the pad. But there are other things I'm going to need, and we're going to start camping next year. I didn't want to jump into it too fast and not be prepared and not like it. So the plan is that we'll camp someplace here in Illinois first. I identified a campsite, and it's a state park, and then two in Wisconsin, and then one in Minnesota that I'd like to go to.
Wow.
And I want to
Nice.
avoid the crowd, so we've decided that we want to go sometime before Memorial Day in May, to avoid the crowd, and then we want to go after Labor Day in September. So I mean, there'll still be people camping, but not as many. So
Oh,
that's
Mhm.
I haven't been able to do any scrapbooking because my computer died, and I'm going to tell you, major shock. I have been buying towers. I'm not really fond of laptops, but a computer that should have cost me about $500 ended up running over $1,000. Yeah, I
Wow.
was in sticker shock, and so just so that you all know, if you have to replace a computer, I
Right.
asked the guy why the price had gone so high for a tower, and he was telling me that the kids who play games, they no longer want to buy the consoles, that they want to be able to play on the computers. So you're getting a lot more computer capability, computers that can handle games,
Uh,
and it's automatically being built in now. So you've got that plus the demand as a result of COVID. So
right.
I'm waiting 2 weeks for a tower.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, you're
I
talking about camping. I used to be many years ago, I used to be a Cub Scout leader. And anything that turned me off camping is after you've got 30 grubby little kids that get covered in everything within the first half hour of setting up the camp. And it's downhill from there the rest of the way. My idea of roughing it now is a really nice hotel that doesn't have room service.
Oh.
Or kids.
And I did a lot of camping, so not
but
anymore.
I'm willing to sleep anywhere in terms of hotels as long as I can lock the windows and I don't wake up with bugs in my suitcase like I did. And I had that happen one time when I was working for waste management, and I had to go out in the hinterlands in Oregon, and we stayed at the fanciest motel in the town. And I woke up the next morning to get ready to go to work. I got out of the shower. I didn't have my glasses on, and it looked like my clothes were moving, and I couldn't figure it out. And put my glasses on, and lo and behold, there were bugs all in my suitcase.
Oh,
So,
geez.
and that was the nice motel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, of course, when you're camping, other things could crawl into your sleeping bag.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
and I know that comes with the territory. But
Yeah.
we both have dogs, so we're going to take our dogs with us.
You'll
And
have your
I'm very
security
excited about
team. That's great. Okay. Well, thank you.
Wow.
And Pat, what you got to show us?
Yeah.
Put you in the
I
spotlight.
do. I actually have done something since Sunday.
What
So,
Pat's referring to
years
is my
ago-
art journal class. With Pat's
I
part
didn't
of
have
my art
anything
journal
to
group.
show for the previous 2 weeks. But I have this thing that I bought years ago. And it's, I don't know if you can tell that it's 3D.
Yeah.
It folds flat for mailing. And it's a snow globe. And I actually have a bigger one too. And I've always been fascinated by it. So about 2 years ago, I started researching this, and it's something called sliceforms. And it's actually based on math. I actually found someone's thesis at MIT who had done their master's thesis on the math behind this in art forms. But I wasn't going to do any of the math or anything to figure it out. So my first stop was I went to this company called Some Assembly Required, and they sold rubber stamps, and you could stamp the different layers, fussy cut them, and try and assemble it. But I was challenged with the fussy cutting, and it only ended up being like this size, and I wanted a bigger one, which I had seen. So I have, over the past 2 years, been looking half-heartedly, Googling. But on Sunday, after our art journaling thing, I said, I got to start making something again. And I went on, I found this PDF. I have a Cricut, so online I converted the PDF to like transparent pings so I could import it to my Cricut. And I actually was able to make a prototype. So here's the base. Unfortunately, like they're not attached. Here's the actual snow globe. And this will eventually be in clear material like this one. And I'll put a scene inside it. But I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to use my expensive Mylar to do practice. So you can see it's actually like, you can see how perfectly mathematical it is.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's solid, but that will be clear, and it just adds some rigidity. So I was like super pleased that I was able to actually finally come up with this. And now I have to come up with the scenes. I found a great blog. I could give Stephen the address, so I can try and share my screen. I'll try and share my screen, Stephen. I don't know if it'll work.
It should let you.
Yeah, I just have to, how do you do it? You just pick something that.
Yeah, you just pick whatever.
Where do I go to my, I have to go up to my internet.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever you have open in the background on your screen, you should be able to pick.
Yeah. Well, I can't do it. So I'll practice that, but I'm going to send Stephen the the blog in case anyone's interested, because this lady I found, she's a retired math teacher. She's done all kinds of these, and she's kind enough to share the PDFs. So you can convert them if you're a Cricut user. Because they have to, like, you need a transparent background when you upload, I found out. I was going crazy on Sunday, but she also has 3D cards, and it's just fascinating what she's done. And I was just so happy to finally be able to replicate this thing. This one, which I purchased, has a sliceform snowflake inside, and I actually know how to do that. You just attach it to the grid, like, so that it will fold. So maybe next time I'll have something to show you that I made.
Well, if you send to me an email, Pat, if you send to me an email that link, then what I can do is when I put this up, I'll post that in the show notes, and then people can check it out later and get it for themselves if they're interested.
Okay, that's cool. So the other thing is, I don't know if I showed you guys this, but because some of you are fabric artists, this Angelina fiber, this craft store near us, the stamping store, the owner, she did a great video. If you search Class Act scrapbooking in Oshawa and then look under Inspirational Thursdays, you'll see the owner, Carol, doing a demo of this fiber that you can iron, and then it sort of becomes fused. And then if you're a crafter like me, you can like die cut it. Here's a little dove, or I guess like you quilters or whatever could just cut it out. You can stamp on it. You have to use a rubber stamp. I didn't really like the stamping aspect of it, but I used some in a Halloween card I made for my great niece and just put it in the background here to add some puffiness. So it was just kind of cool. And it's just fun to try. So it's called Angelina fiber.
Fibers, yeah. Yeah.
And the only last thing I have to share, and I think, okay. Andy, you might like this because of that book. So this book, it's called The Paper Garden by Molly Peacock, but it's about this lady in the 18th century England, and she started paper crafting at age 72. She basically fussy cut paper to perfectly replicate flowers. And her work's in the Victoria and Albert Museum in London.
Yeah.
This book is, it's not, how do I call it? It is a novel, so someone's woven. It also has all the great pictures of her work. And I just thought it was fascinating and an inspiration for those of us who are getting older, that even though she was 72 for like 10 plus years, that's when she started her paper crafting life and created beautiful works of art. So
Yeah,
it's a really good read.
I've read that. It's good. Mm-hmm.
You read it?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, that's all I have.
Awesome.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you, Pat. Those Angelina fibers, I bought a whole bunch of them from the store that Pat was mentioning years ago. And I went looking for them the other day, and I'm not sure where I put them because I've never really done anything with them. So I've got to dig them out because they are kind of interesting. Oh, Andy's got a little puppy there. Look at that. Okay, so I think I got everybody right. So guess it's my turn now. I'm not sure how well you're going to see this because I don't have any lights. The only glow is the glow from my computer and what's coming through my windows from outside. So Pat's already seen this, but this is a technique. And I'll spotlight myself here. Just a sec. Okay, there I am. So I guess the light's not too bad.
Oh, cool.
So what you do is, this is photo glossy paper, you know, the kind of thing you would print your pictures out on from your printer. And you just take some of your acrylic paints. It can either be the liquid form or it can just be the tube form. You fold the paper in half with the photo side, the shiny side on the inside. And all you do is squirt a few drops of color down the center seam, fold it over, and then just sort of crease it and run your hand over. It does get messy, so have something underneath it because your paint will squeeze out, and open it up. And it's like one of those ink blot tests. And you can get some really neat effects with this.
That one
depending
looks like
on-
in a Nookchuk.
Yeah. And no matter, so, you know, I'm thinking with Anita doing, you know, the watercolor drop kind of thing. Well, actually, you could do a similar thing with
Right.
this. You might even be able to do this
Wow.
with watercolors, except on the shiny paper, I don't think watercolors would dry properly because I think they have to absorb,
Alcohol
right?
Right.
length.
But
Right.
you could try it. And I have done it though, because somebody mentioned Ken Oliver's crystals. Well, I've done it with brushos, which are the same kind of thing as well. I don't have any examples of that here, but I did those on when Stephen and Walter live there a couple of weeks ago when we did Art Attack. We used that and using the same method. But and there's another one. But the thing is, I took them and then I scanned them. And they're actually a little bigger when I scanned them. And I print them on photo glossy paper. And then you can take those and you can put them through your die cutting machine. And I made a whole bunch of butterflies
Wow.
with
Yeah.
that.
Awesome.
And I just, you know, I did these in my Cricut, but you could do them with a die as well if you've got a die cutting machine. The ones in the center, it's hard to show in this light, are actually done on cardstock instead of doing them on the photo glossy paper. So it
Oh,
works,
okay.
Yes.
but they're just a little, they're a matte finish.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And I just layered my butterflies together. I just stuck them on this board.
Those are
for-
awesome.
Oh, my power's coming on. So, okay, I don't know what's going to happen
Let
now.
there
I guess
be
I'm
light.
still okay. But anyways, yeah, so that's the technique I want to show you. It's kind of fun to do it. You're never sure exactly what you're going to get from that. And the other thing I want to show you was a new product I got. I have a Cricut maker, but if anybody has a Cricut, all my machines are going nuts on me right now because the printer's all turned on. I got a couple of printers in here and they're making noises. But I bought this. This is for Cricut. It's not, I think it'll work in any Cricut. I don't think it has to be a maker. And it's a stylus. They call it the foil transfer kit. And what it does is it takes any Cricut design and you use transfer sheets, foil transfer sheets, which you can buy through Cricut. But I think you can buy these at Michael's and places like that too. The glare on them. I bought a package of 24, a sample package in greens, reds, golds, silvers, and bronzes, I think. And you lay them down. It thinks it's cutting an image, but it's not. It's pressing the foil into your card back. And now this will be hard for you to see because, yeah, the lighting sucks on here.
Yeah.
But basically, it transfers the foil. Trying to see how I can show you this. Now, it's not going to show up very well. You'll have to take my word for it. But it's really kind of cool. This tool comes with 3 different tips, a fine, a medium, and a heavy one.
Yeah.
And basically any design in Cricut will transfer. But if you don't have a Cricut, you can actually trace out a pattern on top of this foil using a stylus. So if you've got a stylus that has a ball on the end of it, you just put your foil down onto your card surface, put what you're going to trace over top of that, and just press it into it. Now, somebody asked me if you could do this with an embossing folder. Well, I tried.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work with an embossing folder
Oh.
unless you use the embossing folder like you would do a rubbing. So, you know, you just rub over the top of it with
Right.
something.
Oh,
Now, you're
okay.
not going to get as quite as a clear or crisp an image, but you'll get something that might be kind of neat to use as a background for something like that or whatever. So anyways, I thought I'd share that with you. It's not, well, in Canada, by the time I got it directly from Cricut. Now, Michael's will probably be selling it and Joann's probably will have it. The only problem is you can't use your coupons on anything that's by Cricut in either one of those 2 places. I think this runs $49.99 American on the Cricut website. And the foil, it comes with a sample pack of foil in it. And then I bought an extra packet, which had more sheets in it. And I think it was $7.99 American. By the time I got these 2 things to Canada with the shipping, it ended up costing me like $92 Canadian. for it all. But of those of you that are in the States, you're going to get it for less than that, because it's in American dollars. But anyways, it's kind of a neat, it's a toy. I don't know how often I'll use it. I have one that does hot foil that was put out by We Are Memory makers or keepers, whatever they're called, keepers, I guess. Or maybe they're makers, whatever. They have lots of gadgets. And I bought that. I've used it maybe twice. But I have it. But the advantage of this one is you don't need it to plug in. Like you have to plug the other one in into the USB port. It heats it up. This one, no, you just drop it into where you put your knife blade and away it goes. So it's a little better, I think, that way. But you have to have the foil that transfers like that. So anyways, I thought I'd share those two little things with you. I had something else I was going to show you today, but I'm not going to because Pat is here. And we are doing a challenge. No, I'm not going to, no.
Oh, yeah, you can't show.
I can't show yet. So who was it came up with this idea? Was it you?
Caroline, because she has so many empty boxes.
Yeah, you know these little boxes, and get the glare off it, that you can buy it usually at dollar stores and have all the little wooden pieces in it. Well, these little boxes are wood too, and I've got several of them. And so we've come up with the idea, we're having a challenge to see what we can do with these boxes, what we can create using them. But we're not revealing them to our group until November the 22nd. I was going to show you if Pat hadn't been here, I might have shown you what I've created because I'm really thrilled with what I've created. But
I won't copy you. I won't copy you if you want to show it.
No, I'm not going to. No, the big reveal is November 22nd.
I don't even have a clue what I'm going to do yet.
Yeah, I know. Now, speaking of the art journal group, you've heard me talking about it. This was something we started a small group of us back about 3 years ago now, probably. And at the store that Pat was talking about, I was giving a class in how to do art journaling, and it grew from there. There are only 8 of us in the group. That was mainly because the store can only handle 8 people in a workshop setting. And since we haven't been able to meet again because of COVID, we decided to go online. So we meet twice a month, the first and the third Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we do similar to what we're doing here. We share our crafting ideas and things like that. And some people will demo something they've been working on as well. If any of you are interested in joining our group with that, it's all free. It costs nothing. Just send me an email and I'll put you on the list. And it's a Zoom. We do it as a Zoom. So if you want to check it out. Now, if you want to see what it's all about, go to my YouTube channel and you'll find Art Journaling Group because I record the videos for it too. So you can get a feel for what we're doing. It's not unlike what we're doing here, except it's more geared around, like very much geared around mixed media with it. And as I said, art journaling. But you're more than welcome. I've spoken to the group about this and they are very friendly people.
I watched it. I watched your last one that you posted. I tuned into that one. Yeah, it was very nice. Very nice.
So if you're interested, then just send me an email and then I'll make sure that I can send you out the link the next time it comes out, because it's not really a private group, but I don't I don't publicize the next meeting in a show note like I do with this one with it, because I have everybody's email address for that. Okay, so great. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to share at this moment in time or speak about or anything?
Could I give Andy, I think it's Andy that's doing the sketching and camping. I had a couple names, authors of books I know she would love. I'm not sure the spelling though, but one is, her name is Hannah Hinchman. And I don't know if that's Hinchman or Henchman. And I didn't look this up before we came on. I'm sorry. But you would love her book. And when it was recommended to me by one of my watercolor ladies. And it turns out that the girl, when she was younger, she lived in the same town I did, and she worked or volunteered at Audubon Nature Center, which is real close to me. And so she got into sketching and drawing, but a true nature. She's excellent book. I'm
Thank you.
sorry I didn't get the name of the book, but Hannah Hinchman.
Okay.
And then another one is Kathy Johnson, and she's done several books, and she's even on YouTube and Facebook. But she's excellent with her nature sketches and watercolors. So I know you would enjoy them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know,
Okay.
it's tough trying to teach yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else anybody wants to bring up? No. Okay, well, our next group meeting will be November the 4th at 1 p.m. as usual. And the week before, I'll have the link for it down in the show notes for both my vlog and anything else I put up that week just before, it'll be in there as well. So it gives you plenty of time to think creatively and do some more interesting things to share. And thanks everybody for joining us today. And I'll have this up later on today. And Pat, you'll send me that link to that blog so I can
Yep.
put that in the show
Yep,
notes.
the minute I
and
get
everything.
off.
So I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, rest of the week. Stay safe. And yeah, we'll see everybody again. So bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.